Alright, hello and welcome back to part 3 of our commander guide for Abathur. And today we'll be talking about counters to our swarm strategy. So, if you haven't seen part 1, where we cover all of Abathur's units and abilities, I highly suggest that you go check it out. I'm going to put the link in the description down below. And also, if you haven't seen part 2, where we actually talk about the strategy and have some gameplay to showcase it, dude, you should go check out the video. Links in the description as well. Alright, so let's get into this. So our game plan, we're going to do a little recap of the strategy, just in case, you're just like, fuck it, I just want to watch this video. Alright, and we're going to talk about how we get counter, and how to deal with some of the specific counters, and we're going to also mention some specific hard counters. So, let's roll into it. But before, actually, if you like this sort of guide stuff, if you like direct strike content, I'll be making more of these videos every single day of the week, so if you want to keep up with this stuff, consider subscribing, honestly. That way you don't have to search me up all the time. So, strategy recap. Alright, so the swarm strategy, you open with Roach and Queen, and then you go into tier 2, and you just start massing swarm hosts. You give your swarm hosts all the biomass so that their locusts are really powerful, and then you can support them with more vipers and more roaches later into the game. And profit? That's it. That's the entire strategy. It's very effective. Now, however, here's some counters to our locusts, because our locusts are our main source of DPS from this build, but they only deal 10 damage. You can upgrade them to deal 13, right? But units with high armor, anywhere from 5 to 8 armor, will basically brush this off as little tickles. So that's going to be a problem for us. Another thing is that locusts only have 65 HP, so if they get hit by some AoE, they're all dead. And once your whole wave of locusts are dead, your swarm hosts are just sitting ducks. They don't do anything, right? So they don't spawn anything until the next 28 seconds. So yeah, if your swarm host gets wiped before more locusts come out, well, that's the end of the swarm. So let's get into the counters, alright? So first thing first, we have the Ultralisk. So a few commanders have access to the Ultralisk. We have Dahaka, Kerrigan, and Stetman. I may be missing one or two, but I think that should be all. They have very high armor. They have AoE attacks. You can already tell that this is bad for us. They have huge amounts of HP. They can charge, they can knock back, and all around they just fuck up your locusts, and they fuck up your roaches pretty easily. So how do we go around doing this, like countering this? Well, we can get more roaches. We can get some vipers to blind the backline, so that at least it's only the Ultralisk doing DPS to us. But most of the times you want to transition to Guardians, because Guardians do high amounts of single target damage, and Ultralisk's high armor isn't really going to matter, because they're going to hit for like 30 to 39 damage each shot. So that extra like 7 armor doesn't really matter. Next, we have the Aberration. So Zagara's Aberration is very powerful, it's fast moving. It doesn't really have as much HP as the Ultralisk, but it's the 2 Splitterlings that it spawns that is very dangerous. Like, the Splitterlings will explode doing huge amounts of AoE damage, and they will 100% kill your locusts because they do up to 80 damage if you level up their damage. Zagara's Banelings can do double damage. And then they'll spawn 2 little Banelings from the first one that'll also do damage. So this is going to crash into your swarm of locusts, and they're all going to get annihilated. Right? So what can we do? Well, we can build more roaches and more queens to at least absorb like this sort of blast from the aberrations. If we can have them all tank all that stuff for us, then we will at least have a second wave of locusts coming up that'll be able to knock this stuff out. And actually, the Brutalisk might actually be a good buy here. I'm saying maybe because Brutalisk is quite expensive, and it's just really a giant sponge for your swarm host at the end of the day. So, I don't know, maybe it might be better to build roaches. You could try out the Brutalisk. Next, we have the Firebat. So only Raynor has access to the Firebat, and it's not really as dangerous as the other options above. However, its low cost makes it very effective because Raynor can just spam lots of these guys. They only have 230 HP, so it's not that dangerous in comparison to the other 2 that we just saw. But they do AoE damage in a cone in front of them, and they do bonus damage to light units. They don't kill the Locust too fast, but they will deal with them very easily because they also have high amounts of armor. So the thing is, though, Firebats are only good against light units. So if you just build a bunch of roaches, the Firebats actually can't get close. And the roaches will just murder them before they can actually deal with the locusts effectively. And also you can get some vipers to blind Raynor's backline. So Raynor will probably have tanks. Raynor will probably have marauders or marines. I don't know if he chose to go down marines. You can just blind all those units with blinding cloud, and they have to walk up closer, and then your locusts will just obliterate them. So Firebats, not really too dangerous, but it's still a counter nonetheless. Next, we have the Hellbat. So Nova and Swan have access to the Hellbat. Nova's Hellbat is actually much more dangerous. Oh, and I forgot, Han and Horner also has Hellbats too. You just never really see them come out. But Nova's Hellbat has 550 HP, has 3 armor, and has an ability that causes it to jump forward, and when it jumps forward, it stuns all units in front of them, and it gains 4 more armor. So it has 7 armor. So, like, at max potential. So safe to say, Nova's Hellbat will actually just roast all of your locusts, like, handily. I think they actually do more damage too. Like Swan and Han and Horner's Hellbats only do 18 to 30. I believe Novas can do up to 40 damage to light units. And they're just much more powerful at roasting light units than Firebats are. So really, you just want to get more Roaches, because once again, they do bonus damage to light units. And you probably want to get some Vipers, and against Nova, you might want to transition to Guardians, because Nova's Hellbats just have way too much HP, so you might want to just go Guardians, rather than stick with it. Against Swan and Han and Horner, you can probably keep going just more Roaches to help block off their Hellbats from getting close to you. Okay, next, we have the High Archons. So only Artanis has access to High Archons and High Templar. But it's still something to talk about, because Artanis is really good at AoE in general. I cast a Psystorm that does 80 damage AoE, and High Archons have a lot of HP, so they can tank forever, and they will just decimate your Locust with a few Psystorms. Like, just if Artanis has like 4 or 5 High Archons, that'll probably wipe like a wave of like 30 or like 40 Locusts, right? So what do you want to do? You can get more Roaches in this situation, or you can actually probably just go Guardians as well. And Vipers are also recommended to just blind his backline, blind his Immortals, so they have to walk up close. Maybe even pull the High Archons closer into your wave so they get taken out first. But yeah, they're not really that bad. Like, it's not like impossible to deal with. And next we have the Colossus. Alright, so the Colossus is a long-range backline unit that is locked at tier 3. So it's technically one of the less dangerous threats, because our opponent has to commit a lot of cash to get his first Colossi. Karax has access to Colossus, and so does Phoenix. Alarak does not. His is a Wrath Blocker, and that only shoots a single target. So Colossus shoots 2 little beams that sort of cut like scissors. So 2 little lines that go from one end, and they meet each other, and they cross over again. So that's safe to say that's really good against like our lines of Locusts that'll be swarming towards them. And Karax's Colossi are especially effective against us because they set the ground on fire, and that causes it to deal more damage. And because they have such long range, whatever unit is in front of them will be tanking for them for quite a while. And so our Locusts will actually have a hard time reaching them. So against Colossi, you actually want to build Devourers, because Devourers can hit air units, and Colossi are tall enough to be hit by air units. So Devourers will like just tear these things to shreds. You can also go with Vipers to just pull the Colossi into your wave. That can also work, or you can Blinding Cloud them as well, and then so they have to walk up, and then like because they just lose their attack range, so they have to walk up, and that effectively pulls them in as well. So Colossi are powerful, but there are ways we can work around it. Now, onto the hard counters. So here are 2 hard counters for this build that I have listed. First, let's talk about our man Tychus. So here's Blaze, his hero Firebat. And all the weaknesses of the Firebat before is now gone. Alright? Rainer's Firebat only has like 200 something HP, but Tychus's Blaze starts off with 1000 HP. Okay? And he does 36 damage to normal units, so he will roast your Roaches regardless, and he does 58 damage to light units, right? This will actually go up as he upgrades his attacks. He has an ability called Oil Spill that just sort of drops out a giant AoE sort of Oil Spill that just slows all units are in it, and it makes their attack range go down by like 2 or 3, so they have to walk up to him, and their attack speed is halved. So Blaze basically takes no damage effectively for that round, like when he throws out the Oil Spill. And he can also get like an upgrade to his combat suit that makes so he only takes 30 damage from all things. So if you go Guardians, like yeah, sure, Guardians do 30 damage, but that's as much as he's going to be taking, right? So Blaze is one tough cookie, and he will roast your Locusts like no tomorrow. And he'll probably roast through your Roaches too. He'll probably be backed up by like a few Kevs, the Marauders. But yeah, Blaze, very powerful against you. And supporting Blaze, Tychus should probably be getting Nux. So Nux casts Psionic Storm as well, just like the High Archons, except he can upgrade it to do double damage, last twice as long, and have 50% larger blast radius. Safe to say, those are things that are not very good for our Locusts. Yeah, Nux will wipe your wave. So really, honestly, against Tychus, you want to just be going Guardians, because Tychus doesn't really have a too great of an answer once you build up critical mass of Guardians. Like, he can get Boswells, he can get Blazes, but those don't shoot up right? At most, he can get Vegas, but Vegas are really expensive. You can probably get 3 Guardians almost for the price of 1 Vega. So it's probably just better just to go Guardians against Tychus. Okay, next we have Borazun's Dark Templar. So they're permanently stealthed, okay? So that's already a problem for us. And they will literally destroy our entire front line, okay? Because they do 40 damage per auto attack, and they can be leveled up to do, I think, up to 60, but Borazun has a passive that makes all our units that are stealthed do even more damage. So they probably end up doing like around like closer to like 70 damage per auto attack. Your roaches only have 145 HP, and if they get hit twice, they're basically dead, right? And Dark Templars also have an ability Borazun can upgrade, which is Shadow Fury. It just sort of dashes around 5 times, and it deals damage to the units it hits, right? And it deals up to 35 damage to light units, and Locusts are classified as light units. So if Borazun just has like, I don't know, 20 Dark Templars, and they run up into your wave, they're going to Shadow Fury all your roaches, they're just going to die. They're going to pop, explode. Your Locusts are going to pop and explode, and then he's going to pull up to your Swarm host and just kill them. So yeah, that's a really bad time. Next, on top of that, Borazun has access to the Corsair, which is also, once again, permanently stealthed. It can drop Disruption Web, which is a better version of Blinding Cloud, in my opinion, because it prevents all ground units from attacking. So, like, your Locusts are literally just going to have to walk up past the Disruption Web. Like, your Roaches are going to walk up past, and they're not going to be attacking all this time. And just imagine, they're getting stabbed by DTs this whole time, right? So you're just going to have a terrible time. So, honestly, the recommendation to beat Borazun is just go beat her in the air, because Borazun's late game is just a bunch of Void Rays and Corsairs. So Abathur's Air Force is already very powerful. We'll probably make another video on Abathur's Air Force, so look out for that. But yeah, just beat her in the air. Abathur always has that option, and Abathur's Air Force is very powerful. One of the most powerful in the game, I would argue. Alright, let's get to it. We're going to roll out with our Swarm strategy once again. Let's go push some Roaches. They're always good, reliable units to start off with. I'll probably just push 3. Let's see, what are my allies doing? So my allies, we also have an Abathur here. Excellent. And we have a Borazun. Oh man. This is going to be excellent. Abathur's an excellent commander, so this guy has a nice little group hug of roaches. So I'm the only one who went gas a little aggressively. I suppose we are trying to take the middle. But I think, our opponents are also just not doing anything. So that's excellent for us. So I'm going to put down one more roach. And then got 6 roaches here. Our opponent is some sort of Zerg. Let's put down our Toxic Nest right now. Let's see. Borazun doesn't have access to anything else here, so I'll put the Toxic Nest down here. And I'm going to put a Spore Crawler right there. So I'm against Nova. Here we go. Let's start teching up. Nova has Marines. Which indicates to me that Nova is, for the most part, going Bio. Maybe she's going to get Marauders. Let's see. So there's one Roach versus Nova. No match. So we got some Centurions. Nova with the Snipe. Damn, Nova's such a powerful hero in the early game. If she switches to Shotgun mode here, she could easily take out these Centurions. But she's not paying attention, so down she goes. Let's get my second Extractor. I'm being very greedy here. I'm pretty sure my allies, my ally here has not even gassed yet. But that's alright. This is a late game sort of push strategy, and I'll need as much resources as possible. So let's do that. So it looks like we're against Dahaka maybe in the first position. I can't tell because his worms are always green, so I can't tell from the colors. Well, anyways, my roaches are coming out. I know I'm against Nova for sure. There we go. Let's get our little Spore Crawler. Okay, so he's got more Marines. I have not increased my roach numbers, but it's Swarm Host time. Let's go. Here we go. We got that Locust. Cooldown, 11 seconds. Oh, alright. And we have another Abathur Toxic Nest right over here. We got Centurions, but they don't have charge, which is a big mistake. I wonder what the Haka's doing, though. Oh, there he is. Let's go for another Swarm Host. So we got 2 Locusts, 11 seconds. They'll be coming out really fast, just churning them out. So I think it was the Dahaka Locust that come out every 28. But, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, we have Zagara with Aberrations in the first slot. Okay, so we're against Zagara, Nova, and Dahaka in that order. Let's see, so I'm just gonna... Looks like we're doing pretty well. Let's see, can I mend my allies' units? I think it might be too early to cast Mend. Yeah, I guess Zagara does have a pretty slow start. She doesn't really do anything in the beginning. but then she starts hitting like a truck later on. Let's go for another swarm host, and then let's probably push another extractor. So there we go. My swarm hosts are coming down. My roaches are here though. Ooh, these marines are taking care of my swarm host pretty nicely. Let's see. So that tells me that I need more roaches at the front. And I need to give them that damage upgrade. Let's go. Ooh, look at those impale. These primal igniters. Fire breath, bonus light damage. It's gonna be very important at countering my swarm hosts here. Okay, who did this? Who did this? Who did this? Why would you pause the game? Why would you pause the game? Let's get another swarm host down. We gotta wait for that biomass to come up. Alright. This is looking a little... Ooh. The power of the aberrations and those banelings is blowing through those roaches here. Get some hydrotic bile, get some adaptive plating, because I definitely am going to need that. Against those marines especially. Because the marines are all light units. Look at that instant increase in DPS against these marines. The +8 damage, they do 24 to the light. Those marines don't stand a chance now with a large number of roaches coming in. And look at all those locusts just blasting them down. Alright, now it's against the Haka now. Here we go. He's got those primal igniters. They're pretty tanky units. And do bonus damage. They're like basically fire bats. Or the Haka's biological hellbats. So those are gonna do a pretty good job against me. Alright, so we still have one biomass. Let's see. It's probably worth it to mend right now. Especially because mend is on such a low cooldown anyways. Just toss it out whenever. Let's just hang on to this. Let's see. My Abathur here, ally, has a lot of queens. Lots of queens, lots of roaches. Look at that. Thick front line. Okay, let's mend. Okay, Nova, I think, is probably teching up. Oh no, Nova's just going pure bio. She has more and more marines. That's good news for us, because those marines are not going to stand a chance against these swarm hosts that are coming in. Let's get an auto attack upgrade. All my roaches seem to have died, but I have lots of locusts here. But they're not getting close enough. They're not getting close enough. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I need more roaches though. Probably should get some queens maybe. No, Zagara has shit for anti-air, right? She got scourges. She got scourges, man. Don't want to mess with those. Okay, let's put that on second line of roaches. Yeah, man. So my ally here is still tier 1 on Abathur. He's just going for it, but look at all those aberrations. Oh my god, that is not going to be good news for us. That might be our cannon, or our bunker, actually. That is, oh my goodness. That's a power push right there. Oh, there's just too much DPS coming out and not enough durability here. My swarm hosts are getting bodied. I need more roaches. Ooh. Let's go. Yeah, I need more roaches right now. My front line is not durable enough. My allies are not lasting long enough either. I'm surprised Warzone does not have more Dark Templars, actually. That with the Shadow Fury upgrade. Okay, those are a lot of Nova Marines, so that's a pretty aggressive thing. But they're just going to get obliterated, though, by the base laser, so that's good. I'm still on 2 gas. It's probably a good thing I didn't go more. Okay, so let's biomass this guy. That's going to be very effective for us. Alright, a lot of roaches here. I need more roaches. I got 2 layers of roaches now. Technically, it's only 1 thin line of roaches. My ally has the fucking chunks of roaches. Okay. So, alright, here we go. Those are aberrations. That's bad news for us. Because once those aberrations go down, they're going to start exploding with the splitterlings. Ooh, that's the carnage. Look at that, absolute carnage. But it looks like we're doing pretty well here. We got our biomass locust, super powerful, super high damage. And since they're pushing into us, we got the nice rope-a-dope position, right? The Nexus our planetary fortress is going to protect our swarm hosts from being killed while they stack up and while my allies are here. So this is the whole point of the strategy. Like, look at this, right? So the swarm is going to be coming in, and then they're going to be backing up my allies here. Hopefully, this will be enough, and then my allies will be able to fend them off for a little longer, so that my next wave of allies are coming in. Perfect. Just a little longer. We need the Stalkers to last a little longer. The Stalkers are really good at lasting long. There we go. The swarm hosts are stacking up now. That was great for us. We got a little rope-a-dope. And then my Abathur ally's here now. So he's going to help shelter my swarm host from attack. And I'm coming up right now with my own swarm host. I'm actually going to push these things back here, because I just don't want them to die. So my Abathur ally here has Ravagers, which I guess they're doing alright. Now I have my second wave of swarm hosts. There's still one, this one stalker is still alive over here, which is amazing. So I'm going to put Mend on my guys. Okay, there's the Nova Siege tank coming out. But look at all those roaches coming in. This is the swarm, guys. Welcome to Char. So this is the build at peak performance. You just need some more of these. A few more roaches. We might need to get some Vipers to deal with the tanks eventually. But let's think about that when it comes. Alright, we got a nice rope-a-dope going on here. Let's just go and upgrade our attacks. We don't really need to upgrade our defenses because our units just don't have enough HP to bother worrying about upgrading armor. So we still got more roaches coming out. I mean, yeah, more roaches. Alright, more swarm hosts with their locusts. They're moving up. Okay, so this wave will probably be the one that might unstack us, because aberrations are quite powerful. Look at that. Ooh, 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 that sound. But let's see, let's mend all those roaches so they heal. Look at that. They just soaked all those Baneling Blasts, and they're still healing. The queens are still going. Look at that. Massive damage. Holy shit. This is what happens when you got two Abathurs too. So, here we go. We got a nice stack of Marines here, but it looks like they're getting liquidated. Fire sale, force sale. My wave is coming up right now. I got more swarm hosts coming in. Here we go. It's the swarm. Welcome to Char, guys. This is it. Look at that. Look at all those locusts. Oh my god. Carnage. So until Nova starts getting her Hellbat, this is going to be what she's going to have to contend with for a long time. So I think we're going to start pushing tier 3. Dahaka's got his own swarm host, but his are kind of inferior to mine, unless he gets creeper hosts, because those things explode. Alright, so they're starting to unstack us now, though, because, yeah, my swarm hosts are going down here, but this guy's still going strong. He's spawning his very powerful locust. That's what's most important here. Here we go, another locust coming out. I'm going to tech up to tier 3 so I can get access to my Vipers. But yeah, it looks like we're getting unstacked. So that's going to suck a little, but it's not too bad, honestly. It'll mean that we'll have to survive the next push inwards, but once we do survive that next push inwards, we're going to have another fat stack of swarm hosts stacked up and ready to go. Yeah, so like all these tanks, these Ravasaurs, they deal high bonus damage to armored units. So my roaches are not going to have that great of a time. I don't actually have enough roaches at the front line right now, but I do have lots of locusts. But it looks like I'm going to need more roaches right now. So let's get another line of roaches. Alright, these guys are going to be there to just tank for me. Right, so my swarm hosts are going down. That means we have to basically defend for the next wave of swarm hosts. Let's see, can I pay my allies to defend this? Time to move that back. Where is my toxic nest? Is that my toxic nest as well? Move those back. So my ally here has a Viper. Okay, excellent. Ooh, misplaced that roach there. Make sure these roaches come out. Okay, so they have like the increased armor plating, but I think I might want to get some armor on my roaches now. So here we go. This is the test. All right, can we survive this? All right, we're stacked up on our Nexus. Oh, that's a lot of aberrations. I don't like the look of that. Those aberrations are gonna shred my roaches. Oh my goodness. Oh, that looks like it, guys. Oh man, that looks unfortunate. But looks like we got countered pretty hard there with these aberrations. And then Nova got an interesting marine build. But yeah, we had these Primal Igniters, which I completely forgot about. They're basically Dahaka's Hellbats. So that's how the Swarm works, but that's also how the Swarm gets countered. So tune in next time for some more Direct Strike content. Subscribe if you like this kind of stuff, because I'll be coming out with lots of Direct Strike guides all the time. But anyways, see you guys next time.